Hello, class. Mr. Moore here. I hope everyone is having a good virtual day. If you are in Monday virtual, some of the stuff might be a little confusing. So we're going to go over offers and contracts Tuesday in person. If you are in Tuesday virtual, you went over this yesterday. So some of the stuff will make a little more sense. Just bear with me. If you have any questions, definitely look at your book. And get this done. If you are super confused and you're having trouble answering the 6263 reteach, just do it tomorrow um, and get it turned in. The reteaches are normally fairly simple. I think these two are too. So shouldn't be a big deal, but let's go ahead and get into it. So we're looking at a few things today. So we are looking at first off ways to terminate an offer. So we kind of went over what offers are, what constitute a good offer. Now that you have made one, how do you get out of it? How do you cancel it? So first, we're going to look at revocation by the offerer, which basically means you just revoke the offer. So anytime before it's accepted, if you don't like it, just take it off the table. Once you do it, it's done. It can't be effective until you communicate it to the offeree. So you can't have a contract ready to go and them have no clue that you're backing out of it. So communication is key there. A lot of people do a time stated offer, which is basically saying you have to accept this offer by this date or it's not void. So an example would basically be this: and writing, I need this offer in writing and receive no later than a certain date. If they don't do it, offer's off the table. And then reasonable time length. So say a particular offer there's not a set date. You kind of go with what's reasonable. So if you're selling perishable goods, they're only good for a week, maybe two. If it's longer than that, there's no reason to have the contract. So it's just done. Seasonal too. So if you're making a sell like Christmas is past, it's February. Obviously, there's no reason to make the offer. It's just canceled. Other ways to terminate an offer. Go here so you can see my awesome picture. No thanks. No thanks. Just rejection by the offeree. So, as the offer, you can take the offer off the table anytime before it's accepted. Same with the offeree. Once you reject it, the offer is terminated. Offer can be renewed, but it's going to be a new offer, so it's not the same one. And then there are exceptions called options, and we'll kind of look at that in the next slide. Another thing would be a counter offer, which is we refuse an offer. You refuse the offer, but you go, here's a new one. So once the counter offer terminates the old offer, and the counter offer becomes the new offer. So a lot of you guys, I hear you talk about playing fantasy football. So say you're doing a fantasy football trade, you hate the trade, but you make them another trade in return. That'd be your counter offer. So the trade you hate is gone. The new trade becomes the new offer. Another way to terminate an offer is if you're dead, right? If I die, I obviously can't go through with what we were offering. And same with legally insane. So you have to know what you're doing. So if you're legally insane and you find that out, then the offer is finished right there and then. And then destruction of subject. So this is pretty self-explanatory. So say you are going to buy a new car, that car catches on fire. Offer is dead. Obviously, you're not going to be expected to buy a car that has caught on fire. So there's a few different ways that you can keep an offer open. So as we went over on the last slide, there's something called options, and these are offer something of value for a certain period of time. So say I found this car online and I really liked it. All right. But I wasn't there. I couldn't check it out. It'd be a few days before I could actually get there. A lot of times you can offer them money to hold the car for you. So say I found this awesome Jeep online, gonna get there in a couple days. Call the car company like, hey, don't sell this car. I'll give you $1,500. Hold it for 14 days is a long time, but hold it for 3 or 4 days. I'll get there, and then we'll negotiate when I get there. So a lot of times, different companies will do something like that. And then there's firm offers. So this is more revolves around merchants who make offers in writing. So merchants are held to higher standards since they regularly deal with goods being bought and sold. Firm offers are written offers that contain how long the offer will actually stay open. The Uniform Commercial Code, which is the UCC, makes firm offers binding for the time stated, but no more than 3 months. So after 3 months, the offer is dead. And this is true even when nothing is being paid by the offeree. So sometimes you can make offers without actually paying anything, but regardless, the UCC says it's a 3 month time period. If you can't do it in that, the offer is done. So, what is required of an acceptance, right? So, you find the offer, you love it, you're ready to go forward. So, an acceptance occurs when the offeree accepts the proposal, right? So, it must come from the person, must match the terms. So, this is called mirror image rule. So, the acceptance must exactly match the offer for an agreement to be legally effective. All right. So, when you're putting together a contract, you read everything, you make sure it's exactly what you agreed upon before you sign it, then you can go forward. It has to be communicated to the offer. So failure to respond at all to the offer cannot be construed as an acceptance. So say that I offer to do your yard for $100. Okay, it's an expensive mow. If you don't accept it, then I can't assume that you're okay with it, right? So if I come and mow your yard and I expect $100, well, if you didn't accept that offer, then I just mowed your yard for free, right? So failure to respond cannot be construed as an acceptance. And there are a few different modes of communication that you can accept offers with. So offers, acceptance, rejections, counter offers. They may generally be communicated in person or by other effective means. So the UCC says acceptance of an offer to buy or sell goods in any manner by any medium reasonable in the circumstances. So examples are telephone, texting, fax, mail, email, delivery service, etc. Um, Typically, if you are doing something, if you are making an offer, what is required? Right, a signature, right? Because you could easily say, hey, yeah, you texted me this offer and I didn't sign it. So a signature is important. A lot of times in business, when you're doing offers, email is more and more common now because you can get signatures over email. Um, a lot of people still prefer delivery service like the US Mail, UPS. In my business, when we had something pressing, we would either do like a DocuSign through email, or we would overnight the contract just via FedEx. We put it in the mail, we'd overnight it, they'd overnight it back. It's done in 2 days, just like that. So that is modes of communication, and that is lesson 6.2 and 6.3. It's pretty easy this today. So get those assignments done. One thing I wanted to note is that in some of my classes, it appears that we are not watching all the videos. And I understand that you guys get a ton of stuff on virtual days, especially from some of your other classes, and I totally get it. All right. But we got to make sure we're watching these videos. So if I notice that we're not getting our work done and we're struggling a little bit, then I'm going to have to go to the ePuzzle system, which I really don't want to do because I trust you guys to watch this and do your work. Um, But EPUBs will make it a little complicated for you guys because you're actually going to have to do quizzes within the presentation. So make sure you're watching these. Make sure you're communicating. Make sure you're volunteering and speaking up in class. Make sure you're getting your reteach assignments done. Make sure you're doing them before they're due and not when I give you answers in class. Or I'm going to have to stop giving you answers in class. So keep up the hard work. I think you guys are doing well. I think the grades look pretty good in our class. Make sure you're clicking that attendance button. And I've talked to a lot of you guys in this class and other classes about just totally spacing doing the attendance. So make sure you're doing that. But I'm proud of you. I'm looking forward to seeing you in class on Wednesday or Thursday. And keep up the hard work, guys. All right. Have a good day.